All right, welcome back to more Backyard Baseball 97. Now that I've finished my season play series in Backyard Baseball 01, I'm finally going to reattempt the random kid challenge where the wheel will pick my team for me, as I ended up failing the challenge by losing 2-0. And again, just to refresh, the goal in this one is to win a game with the team the wheel selects for me on hard difficulty. Okay, it's time to pick teams, and let's see who gets the first pick. And the CPU does. Who are they gonna take with their first pick? And they take the highest power guy in the game in Mikey Thomas. That's a good pick right there, but they did give me a chance at Pablo. All right, it's time for the wheel to choose my first kid. We're gonna shuffle, and now here goes nothing. Kimmy Ekman with our first pick. You know what? Could have been worse. There she is. She decided to show up today. Welcome to Team Kimmy as my first pick. And the CPU goes with Pablo Sanchez for the second pick. I saw that one coming. And let's see who the wheel chooses for our second pick. I thought we got a mirror, but it lands on Dante. And again, could have been worse. There's Dante eating his popcorn behind Keisha. And I'm not going to complain that he's one of the fastest guys in the game. The CPU goes with a mirror for their third pick. But you know what? That's actually not the best pick. And the reason for that is because I don't see Ahmed on the bench for us to choose. And if you guys remember, Amir only gets boosted if Ahmed is on his team. And let's see who the wheel chooses for our third pick today. Stephanie Morgan. That's actually pretty solid right there. There she is up by Dimitri, a solid all-around player. The CPU goes with Dimitri for their fourth pick. See who our fourth pick is going to be. I was hoping for Pete, but we got Gretchen. We were this close to getting the fastest player in the game. For the first time today, one of our picks did not show up in Gretchen. She's not available on the bench, so we get a re-roll on the wheel for our fourth pick. Let's re-roll. And somehow it got worse by getting Jorge. The grass isn't always greener. Sadly, Jorge decided to show up. Jorge, just know this is not willingly being done. And the CPU takes Ernie. See who our fifth pick is going to be. You know what? I'll take Ashley. I think this is Ashley. And yes. And now I'm just hoping that the wheel chooses her twin sister, Sydney, so they both get boosted by being on the same team. But I have a feeling the CPU is going to take Sydney, and no, they don't. They take Jacinda. Thankfully, they didn't end up cheesing me right there. Let's see who our sixth pick is going to be. Again, we're one past Pete, but we get Sally. This game is teasing me right now. There's Sally, and I'm a little upset about this one. And they take Ronnie. And with us just taking Sally, that doesn't surprise me. Because if they're on the same team, Sally gets boosted. And let's spin for our seventh pick. Close to Keisha, but we get Annie Frazier. And Annie did indeed decide to show up. And you know what? I'm not very familiar with Annie. I haven't used her much, but looking at her skill ratings, she's a pretty well-rounded player. The CPU goes with Angela for their eighth pick. One of, if not the best pitchers in the game. I won't be surprised if she's starting on the mound for him as well. Because if she is, that just made this challenge so much more difficult. Let's see who our eighth pick is going to be. Come on, come on, come on, come on. What are the chances that the wheel chooses Tony right after his sister was taking the pick before? And that's not actually a bad thing. It's like the wheel knew that if they're on opposite teams, they both get boosted. Who are they going to choose with their last pick? And they go with Ricky Johnson. Now let's see who the wheel goes with for our last pick. Pete or Keisha would be awesome. How they're both available here with the last pick is crazy. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go! Save the best for last. The wheel comes up clutch. There she is, front and center. She's been waiting patiently. Another one of the best power hitters in the game. Got some speed as well. Let's see if I can get the dub this time around and beat the challenge in my second attempt. We're on the road, and they got Amir on the mound, which kind of shocks me given they have Angela. And we got Tony leading this thing off. And with Tony being boosted, I'm pretty sure he gets some nice speed, so we're going to lay it on a bunt. See if he can run it out. He's going, and he is just not fast enough. All right, with one, that brings up Stephanie. All right, we hit it back in the middle, but sadly right to Ricky. And there are two quick outs. Now that'll bring up our best power hitter, though, in Keisha Phillips in the 3 spot. You know what? She hits it hard, and sadly, it's a line out straight to Pablo for a 1-2-3 here to start in the top of the first. All right, I've never pitched with Ashley before, so I have no clue how this is going to go. Starting off pretty well with the 1-2 count here on Ricky Johnson. We're going to go to left hook. Can we get him over top of it for strikeout number 1? He doesn't swing, we get the call, and I'll take that start right there. Now that brings up a power hitter in Angela. We got to be careful here. We got ourselves a full count now. We're staying outside on Angela. We're not going to let her pull the ball. And we get the call for back-to-back strikeouts here to start. And of course, now that brings up Pablo Sanchez in the 3 spot. He puts on the ground, first pitch. Come on, Jorge. Can you beat him there? And we'll take a 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. Top of the second, we got Kimmy Ekman leading this inning off. Oppo Taco And sadly, it's going to come up short. But Ronnie can't make the catch. And we'll take our first base runner of the game. Now that brings up the speedster and Dante. And with his speed, we're just going to go ahead and bunt, even with having Kimmy on first. Well, sadly, we couldn't get a bunt down. Now we got an 0-2 count. We got a swing. And he gets us doing a 360 on a strikeout. 1 out, and that'll bring up Annie Frazier for the first time today. She puts it in play, and that's probably going to be a double play. And it's not, thankfully. And now that'll bring up Ashley with 2. She puts it in play again, but right back on the mound. Pablo fields it, and that's an easy out at second. Bottom of the second, and they got Mikey leading this off in the cleanup. Their 2 through 4 batters in the lineup is insane. And Mikey just made it a 1-0 game. Alrighty. It was bound to happen eventually with 3 straight power hitters. 433 feet. Dimitri puts a jolt into that one. Wow. Back-to-back home runs to Mikey and Dimitri. I didn't see that one coming. 285 feet. And just like that, we're down 2-0 once again to start the bottom of the second. All right, he puts it in play. Stephanie fields. Nice line out. We finally get an out. 1-2 count. We're going high inside cheese on Ernie. I don't care if you don't want an Ashley. He's way early, and we'll take our 3rd K of the game. First pitch swinging. Right back to Ashley on the mound, and just like that, we get out of the second. Top of the 3rd, we got Sally leading this thing off in the 8th spot. You know what? We made contact. And it tips off Amir's glove, but Angela makes a diving catch. And of course, that brings up the man himself, Jorge. Puts it in play. Solid hit, but sadly straight to Angela, who has an absolute cannon. And there's 2 outs just like that. But now that brings the top of the lineup back in with Tony. Can we get anything started here with 2? Come on, baby. That's got to get down.
Get on your horse.
And Ronnie can't make the catch. We're going to send Tony to 2. Can he get in there? And he's going to be in there with the 2-out double, runner in scoring position. We got life. And that'll bring up Stephanie Morgan with an RB opportunity. That's got to get down. Come on, baby. No, and Jacinda makes the catch on the hard hit line drive. This game, man. 2-2 count around to start the bottom of 3rd. We're going to try and go low outside with the fastball. Can we get it by him? Doesn't swing, and there's strikeout number 4. 2-2 count. She wants the left hook. We're going to stay outside on Ricky. We get the call for back-to-back strikeouts. 2-2 count against one of their best batters in Angela. We're going to bring out the big freeze to try and get out of this inning. We get her out in front, and we strike out the side. Top of the 4th, we got Keisha leading things off in the cleanup. She puts it in play to start, and that's going to get down. We'll take a lead off. Single. I forgot Mikey has a cannon out there, and now that brings up Kimmy. Come on, baby. She hits that hard. Sadly, right to Pablo, and that's going to be a double play. Now that brings up Dante once again with 2. You know what? He hits that hard, and that's through. That's going to be an easy 2-out double. Dante comes through. Never mind. Wow, they got a cannon over there. And we'll keep the single. You know what? We're going to steal with Dante. That'll bring up Annie now.
Makes the break.
And I didn't realize they have Dimitri. They got us on a rundown. And we're out of the inning just like that. This challenge is going to drive me crazy, y'all. Bottom of the 4th, and guess who they have up? Pablo Sanchez. Pablo's first pitch swinging. Come on, y'all. Let's make this play. Easy money. Now we just got to get past Mikey and Dimitri, who homered back-to-back last time. 0-2 count. You know what? We're bringing out a power-up pitch in the elevator ball. Can we get him, please? And we do. He goes down looking. That's huge right there. Now we just got to get past Dimitri. Got ourselves another full count. We're going back to the elevator ball.
Ready now. The 3-2 pitch.
And we get back-to-back strikeouts to get through a clean 4th. Top of the 5th, and we got Annie Frazier leading this inning off. Let's go. Come on, Annie. And it looks like she barely hit it. And Ronnie finally catches the ball, of course. Now it's one that brings up Ashley. Working with an 0-2 count, and I just feel hopeless right now.
From the windup and the offering.
And a 3-pitch strikeout. And guess who that brings up? Sally Dobbs. Back-to-back 0-2 counts, and I'm just feeling great about this right here.
Here's the motion. Fire. Strike 3.
Another 3-pitch strikeout. Catches the bottom of the zone. What inning right there. Pulls it down the line to Sally. Can she make the play? And she's got a nice arm. First pitch swinging once again. Come on, Ashley. Field that cleanly, get to Jorge. There's 2. Another full count. You know what? We're just going to bring out the slow-mo. We got more juice. Can we get strikeout number 9 on the day? Got her out in front. There it is. Top of the 6th, we got Jorge leading this thing off. And we find ourselves in the same exact position as we did in the first attempt. Down 2-0. Our last chance. Jorge hits it right back to Mir. What do you know? And 1 pitch, 1 out. Down to our final 2 outs, and we got Tony back up in the leadoff. That's beautiful. If he can beat this out, that would be awesome. We'd get a power up. And he does. We get a hit on the power up. Brings up Stephanie, and it's undergrounder. You know what? We'll take it. All right, there it goes. Maybe we can send Tony to third, and we're going to. Let's go. Stephanie's going to 2. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. I'm sending Tony home.
On her way in with a double.
And I would have been safe. But I risked it for the biscuit, and we're out, and now we got 2. What was I thinking? Now that brings up Keisha with 2 outs, runner in scoring position. Tying run, and we still got undergrounder. There it goes. Come on, Stephanie.
Undergrounder. My, oh my. All I can say
It comes out over there. Come on, send Keisha, send Keisha. Go. Stephanie, go. Keisha's going 3. Keisha's going 3, baby. We're sending her home. We're sending Keisha home. Come on, baby. Come on, Keisha. Come on, Keisha. Keisha with it inside the Parker on the undergrounder. We tie it up, baby. We clutch up with 2 outs. And now that brings up Kimmy. If only we didn't send Tony, we would have taken the lead right there. 2-2 count. Come on, Kimmy. Show us that power.
He's ready now. The 2-2 pitch.
And he gets us on the high curveball. You know what? We tied it up in force, bottom of the 6th. All right, Ashley, I need you to dig deep right here. He's first pitch swinging. Right to Stephanie, though. Easy out number 1. All right, there we go. Right to Sally. That's an easy play over there at first. Ashley intercepts it and one of the player herself. You know what? You do you, Ashley, as long as we get the out. Now with 2 outs, that brings Angela back up. She could end this with 1 swing. We got to be very careful. 2-2 count. We're bringing out the slow-mo again.
She is ready.
Can we get out of this and force extras? She's out in front. Strikeout number 10 for Ashley, and we're going to extras, everybody. Top of the 7th, we got Dante leading this inning off. He puts it in play with his speed. Can he beat it out? And no, Pablo shows off his arm. Now that brings up Annie. Back of the middle. Tips off Amir's glove, but he knocks it down. And with how slow she is, he easily gets out number 2. And now that brings up Ashley. Sadly, that's going to be right to Pablo. Actually, no. Ricky gets it. Bad arm. And they'll take an infield single with 2 outs. We got life here in the top of the 7th. But sadly, that brings up Sally Dobbs. Wow. She actually hits that pretty hard. Is that going to fall in? But no, Ernie makes the catch. Bottom of the 7th, and they got Pablo leading this thing off. Not the part of the lineup we want to be seeing right now. Any one of these next 3 batters could end it with 1 swing. All right, Dante, come on. You can catch this. I believe in you, Dante. I believe in you. And he can't catch it, of course. That's just awesome. Throw him out at 2, though. Come on, baby. And we got him. Pablo gets too aggressive. That's how you stay in the play, Dante. And now that brings up Mikey, who's already homered today. He hits it hard. But right to Sally, she makes the play at the hot corner on the line drive. Now we're 1 out away from forcing the 8th, but that brings up Dimitri, already homered today. Find ourselves another full count here against Dimitri. We're going left hook, low outside. If we walk him, we walk him. And we do. You know what? That's fine. A 2-out walk is not the end of the world. 0-2 count. We're bringing out the left hook for strikeout number 11 and to force the 8th. And we get the call and pizza for everybody. Get hashtag pizza in the comments. We have forced the top of the 8th, and we got Jorge leading this thing off. You know what? He puts it in play. That's an easy play for Ricky, though. And now that brings the top of the lineup back up with Tony. You know what? That's not going to work. He ain't fast enough to beat that out, sadly. And there's 2. Can Stephanie Morgan start anything here? She puts it in play. But sadly, straight to Angela. She can't make the play, though. And Stephanie is going to beat that out for an infield single. We got life with 2 again. And guess who that brings up? Keisha. 3-1 count. I'll take a walk to put a runner in scoring position or a mistake. That was it. But sadly, it's going to be hit right to Ernie. And he makes the catch. Puts it in play. Come on, Ashley. You got this. There's 1. First pitch swinging right back to Ashley.
Ball.
She can't make the play, but Tony's there. There's 2. 2-2 count here on Ronnie. We're gonna go low outside. Can we get strikeout number 12?
Another one
Doesn't swing the
down.
bat. There it is. And we're heading to the top of the 9th. Top of the 9th, we got Kimmy leading this thing off.
The delivery. A long fly.
And again, another pop out to Ernie. Just been rock solid out there in center. All right, Dante, working with a 2-2 count. If we can just put this thing in play. And we get the call on the high inside corner. I was hoping it would be a ball. And now that'll bring up Annie with 2. Let's go. If we can get a power up out of that, that'd be huge. And it gets through. Oh my gosh, we just got a power up. Another hit on a power up pitch. That brings up Ashley. Undergrounder once again. You know what? Let's use it. All right, there it goes. Where's that gonna go? Perfect. We're sending Kimmy to 3. Keep Sydney there. Or Ashley. All right, runners on the corners with 2 outs. And that brings up Sally Dobbs. But we don't have Undergrounder anymore. Can she clutch up and get us a hit to take the lead? Sadly, that's probably not gonna happen.
That little blooper sent him running.
Gosh darn it, man. We're so close. 0-2 count here on Ricky to start. Let's get him over top of it for strikeout number 13. There it is, right down the middle. Now that brings Angela back up. But now we got our 1-2. Let's just go to the elevator ball. And you know what? We'll take another strikeout for 14. But now that brings up Pablo Sanchez. And with us not having any juice and Ashley being low on stamina, we're finally going to go to the bullpen. We're bringing in Tony out of the bullpen. We moved Ashley to second. Can he get past Pablo?
Back towards the outfield. Races to the ball. Move over.
And that's how the game ends. A walk-off home run from Pablo Sanchez in the bottom of the 9th to beat us 3-2 here in the Random Kid Challenge once again. Who else but Pablo? A 322-foot bomb, and we lose it here in extras. Just think, y'all, if I didn't send Tony in the 6th, we would have been up 3-2 and already won this game. I knew that would come back to bite us. And I guess bringing Tony in relief wasn't the best idea either. Hope we take the L here again in attempt number 2. We saw improvement as we got on the board this time. We're getting closer each game, and hopefully I can finally get over the hump in the 3rd attempt. That's gonna do it for this one. Hope you all enjoyed. If you guys did, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys next time.